day, good day, good day, good day, potluck audience. I am so glad to be in front of you tonight. I am Warren L. Booker Jr., the host of the soon to be internationally known syndicated webcast, The Potluck. I'm going to speak those things into existence. Again, I am so happy to be before you live. I know last week was um, a pre-recorded show or a rerun, and I'm just so excited to be before you live. I do want to take a few moments to pause, even though today is September 10th. Tomorrow will be September the 11th, and that is the day that we commemorate those people that lost their lives during the 9/11 attacks, as well as the first responders and individuals that helped with that very sad tragedy. I mean, we've gone from 9/11 of '01 to now we're dealing with COVID-19. So there's always something, and that helps build our prayer lives, our character, and our strength and tenacity. So let's just please take a moment to honor those who lost their lives, as well as the family members that are still living with those losses of those individuals from 9/11. Thank you so much. I didn't want to bend down too far so you guys can see my bird nest bald spot in the top of my head. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. As I already stated, I am Warren L. Booker Jr., the host of The Potluck. And as usual, we always serve up an appetizer. So the appetizer for today is as follows. You accepted less because you thought a little was better than nothing. Know your worth. And I'll read that again. You accepted less because you thought a little was better than nothing. Know your worth. And I know I've heard a woman say one time, a piece of man is better than having no man at all. Or a piece of job is better than having no job at all. You know, to each his own, as some people would say. But I will say this, know your worth. Sometimes it's better not to have rather than just have mess. All right, the book of kebab for today is as follows. This is coming from me. Don't let people put a price on you or your talents or your service. They will tell you that you're too high. Set your price and charge accordingly. Those that can afford you will oblige. No discounts. In this world, value is determined by your pricing. So how much value or what price are you putting on yourself, your your talents? Don't let people feel as if they have to discount you. Do like this shirt says, I know my worth. You need to know your worth as well. And that brings us to our next topic. Knowing your worth and your value. When I looked up the dictionary, it states that the definition for worth is equivalent in value to the sum of the item. Equivalent to the value to the sum of the item. So what I get from that, sum of course is the total of all. You know, what's in this particular product? What's in this? What is in you? What makes you valuable? So first it starts with knowing thyself, knowing yourself, know your talents, know what worth that you have. And again, that starts with self. Also, I would say that self-worth or knowing your value, knowing your worth, it starts with you. How much am I worth? And I'll tell you, there's not a number that you can put on it. And I have to speak on it. There are some people need to question themselves during this coronavirus pandemic. How much is your life worth? You're too busy traveling. You just got to go to a party. You just have to go to social gatherings. You just have to do all of this stuff. You just have to celebrate your birthday. But don't you want to celebrate some thereafter? So sit down. Act like you value the life that you have. Because you could possibly die, or you could possibly have some long-term side effects just because you wanted to live in this moment. We will return back to normal at some point. Hopefully. I believe that we will. So act like you have value. Act like you have worth. Because people sit back, they watch and they observe. And when somebody puts a price on something, if you carry yourself in a way as if you have value, that you have worth, they're gonna speak to you a little different. They're gonna talk to you a little different. We were created in God's image, and we know that how much worth He has. So act like that. Act accordingly. And I just think about it. I watched the show Pawn Stars, and I put enunciation on that. And they oftentimes will get different things that come through the shop, and they don't necessarily know the value of it, so they take it to what we call an appraiser. Well, who is our appraiser? Sometimes you go to friends, or sometimes you go to people who you think are your friends, but guess what? They cannot appraise you because they probably don't know your worth. They don't know their worth, and they might not give you the correct appraisal. So I say you look in the mirror, you look at yourself and tell yourself what you are worth, what value you have. Because if not, trust me, people will discount you. And they'll discount you so well that you'll be doing things for free. So please know your worth. If you want to go to another praise, go to God. He will tell you, I made you in my image. You have worth. Family, friends, your church, they'll make you feel as if you have no value, or the gifts and the talents that you have, you should give them free. But then they'll pay somebody else. And I can say this, I've been blessed to be in an arena where if I am working in the capacity as a talent or as Y1 Entertainment, where they give me the same treatment as they would give Tamla Man or somebody else that they had hired. Then I'll say my church, you just figured it out. They treat me as if I was an artist coming from somewhere else, because I was told if you act local, people will treat you local. So just do it right. Get you a contract. Get you a writer. Set your price right. Set your price right. Know your value. Know your worth. People put a price on something, and we base the value on the price that they put on it. It could be the same thing that's great value, but just because they put a name on it, we think that it has a lot of value. We think that it has a lot of worth. So put a name on yours. Put your last name. Put your first name on it, and put that value on it. Put that worth on it. And let's do a shout out. I'm sorry, I just kind of came in and got to talking. Roxanne, Katie, thank you for joining. JD McGee, Miss Terry, happy belated birthday to you now, Miss Terry. Oh, you bought that shirt? Okay, cool, Roxanne. And actually, I made this one, so if anybody needs this shirt, holla at your boy. All right, Victoria, thank you. Mike, agreed. Knowing that worth is valuing all God placed within you and all that you possess. That is so true. Thank you for bringing that to the potluck. That's a good dish. Roxanne, that's right. It's called self-esteem and self-worth. Randall, thank you so much for tuning in. And Jamal, thank you so much for tuning in. So know your worth. Know your value. Price it right. Know your gifts. Know your talents. It was given to you. And if it can be of a service to people, put a price on it. Some people make their living, from their gifts and their talents. Why can't you? Why aren't you any different? Why would, I discount you and treat you local? And with that being said, I have a video that I'm going to share with you. And it's about your value, about your worth. We'll watch that, and then we'll come back.
Let me speak to that person that feels like they lost their worth and their value. This is a dollar bill. Now, if I go to the store and there's something for 90 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So if I go to the store and there's something for 85 cents and after tax, it ends up being 96 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So what if I ball the dollar bill up? Think about it now. Like, I just balled the dollar bill up, so it can't be worth $1 now. It's probably worth like 95 cents, right? How much you think it's worth? $1. Listen, Listen, y'all gotta pay attention. I just balled it up. So clearly it's not worth $1 anymore. All right, so maybe, what if I step on it? What if I stomp it? I just stomped it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 65 cents, 68 cents? It's still worth $1? Okay, what if I ball it up? What if I stomp on it and then I put it in the trash can and it's in here with some trash and it's around some beer and some gum and a bunch of other nasty stuff and some guy off the street pulls the dollar out, unfolds it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 82 cents? And come on, at least 92 cents? It's okay, all right, so what if I ball it up? What if I step on it? What if I put it in trash and then, watch this, I tear it in half? Think about it now, right? How much is it worth now? $1? I could tape it? Whoa. Shh. Wait. Wait a second. I just balled it up. I just stepped on it. I put it in trash. I pulled it out. Then I tore it in half. And you mean to tell me I can pick the dollar up, I can wipe it off, and I can put some tape around it, and it's still worth $1? Then why, if this dollar doesn't lose its worth or its value, then why do you feel like you've lost your worth of value? Because many of you feel like you've been stepped on, you feel like you've been pushed aside, you feel like you've been abandoned, you feel like you've been talked about, you feel like you've been abused, like someone took from you, someone hurt you, somebody took advantage of you, and deep down inside your core, you feel like you've lost some of your value. And I am here to tell you today that this dollar still has worth and value, because there are some men years ago who put value over this life and said that no matter what happens to it, it can still be taped back together. It can still be wiped off. And I am here to tell you that you were created and you're born and you're here and you have life and you have purpose and you have value. And though you've gone through some hard times and though you've experienced some depression and you might be wanting to hurt yourself and you might want to give up, I am here to tell you you still got worth and value. And there is nothing that can happen that can take your worth and your value away. So what you gotta do now is you gotta pick yourself up. You gotta dust yourself off and you gotta keep moving.
I'm here to tell you that you have worth. You have value. Similar to him. I have some money here. It's $1. Actually, it's not $1. It's a $100 bill. This sheet of paper with green ink on it, they tell us it's worth how much? $100. And like he stated, despite of all the things that it's been through, or all the things that you have been through, until this is literally burned up, it will still hold its value. It could get bullet holes, we could stab it, we could put it in the trash can. This still will have the value of $100. So no matter if you've been raped, you've been beat, you come from the ghetto, you come from the hood, you may not be the smartest person, you still know that you have value, you have worth. If this piece of paper with green ink on it still holds its value, you are a human. You are made in God's image. You still have value. You still have worth. And I want you to know that because I know my worth. I know my worth. And I'm going to live my life accordingly. I'm going to do business accordingly. It doesn't mean being rude, being aggressive. It just means handling business and valuing your product, valuing your gift, and knowing your worth. Because if you look to other people, if you look for it to come from other people, they're going to discount it. There's a saying that everything is negotiable. Some things are. But my value, my worth, that's a non-negotiable. And you should apply the same thing. Oh, trust me, Moya, I'm not ripping this. This is going to my savings account. It was a blessing. Alrighty, so moving on. And again, if you want to add something, bring it to the potluck. Just put it in the comment section, and I will entertain it. Please excuse me if my speech is a little slurred. I have a new retainer in today, so I'm adjusting to it. It's tight. It's tight, so I'm trying to talk over it. But me being me, I'm not doing right. Haven't been doing right. Not wearing it at night. And yeah, I'm paying for it. Alrighty, so our second topic, thinking outside the box. Thinking outside of the box. You hear it often, but what exactly does that mean to you? When you guys hear it, what does it mean to think outside of the box? I want you to put something in there. How you doing, Marceline? How you doing, Moya? Uh, Tamika, thanks so much for joining in. When you hear the saying, someone saying, think outside of the box, what do you think about? Um, I think of, just doing something that is not usually done by most people, something that will stand out. Just don't do what everybody is doing. What will make you unique? Just like if you have a product, what will make yours unique? What will make yours different? Thank you, grandmother. My grandmother's in here. Love you, love you, love you. She said, know your value and stand on it. I am. And that is so true. That is so true. Know your value and stand on it. And they instilled that innocence. My grandmother just made me think about something. This stuff right here, it wasn't just given to us as kids. We had to work for it. Now, I must admit, my grandmother paid, and she prayed too, but she paid really well. It may be something as simple as paint one wall in her house, and that would be $100. But I realized at the time she was instilling us that people are not just going to give you money. When you work, you receive the gift. That's why I have no problem going to work, because I know that I'm going to get my gift on the 15th and the 30th of every month. Alrighty. So Moya said when she thinks about thinking outside of the box, that's new ideas and new experiences. And my thing is, it's stated and believed that there's nothing new under the sun. Actually, that's actually documented. There's nothing new under the sun. But how can you take that and put a spin on it? How can you do that? And that's what I'm always thinking of. Sometimes, like people say, if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. I have always just thought all the way up there. And I believe if you shoot for the stars, you'll fall. Shoot for the moon, you'll follow among the stars. Like even as a drum major, and you guys probably have seen my video from the other day. I mean, I wanted to come in on the field on limousines and on a helicopter and change clothes on the field. And some of that did come true. I don't think it came true with changing clothes on the field. But we did have some creative ideas. So do the same. Don't do what everybody else is doing. For example, from the teacher standpoint, if your teacher says do a presentation, well, guess what? You do a presentation and make it into a movie. Do a presentation and make it into a TikTok video and things of that nature. Be creative. Think outside of the box, because guess what? People will remember that. If you blend in with everybody, then you're not going to stand out. Marceline stated, it's been said so much it means nothing. I simply say act, think, and do something outside of that slave mentality. Okay, thinking outside of the box is being something set apart or unique. And I do agree. And Marceline, people do say it quite often. And my thing, I don't just listen to it, I actually do it. You give me what you want, and I'm going to think about how can I give you what you want, but it be in a different manner. It's in a different way than what you were expecting. Because again, it's been told to me that average, and to me, if you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're being average. Average is just as close to the bottom. Bottom is here. This is average as it is to the top. So again, average is just as close to the bottom as it is to the top. So I don't want to be average. I want to be above average. And you should apply the same thing to your life. Just again, do something that hasn't been done before. Just like a true entrepreneur is going. I mean, selling T-shirts or making signs or making seasonings, or what are some of my friends doing? Waist trainers. I have friends that do some of everything, and relatives. That's nothing new, but each of them are successful because theirs has something different about it. And sometimes it could be just a simple product, but the customer service is off the chain. Got to give it to them. Some people say it's overrated, and I used to say the same thing. But I look at Chick-fil-A. I mean, they're serving chicken nuggets and waffle fries, but the customer service and their lemonade, I mean, it's next to none. So you don't mind giving them your money. So again, think outside of the box. Sometimes it's not reinventing the wheel. It's actually just putting some spinners, putting some rims on that wheel and make it stand out. So my thing now is I don't even have to think outside of the box because I've never been in it. So I don't have to think outside of it. I can't think out of some. I can't think outside of something I've never been in. Simple as that. Add what you guys want if you have something to say. Marceline said that there is a God idea in all of us. We just have to step out in faith, trust the process. A lot of times, fear will stifle you. And I believe, and I've been told that fear is false evidence appearing real, But know that there is something great in each of us. If we don't work the vision, it will not come to pass. Marceline, I promise you, you be getting here showing out. I'm gonna have to invite you as a guest one day. Let's work that out. Let's work that out because I promise you, every time that you're in here, you've been a blessing to me. Because fear holds a lot of us back. We can't operate in fear. Fear and faith don't mix. It's either gonna do it or you're not. And like she stated, God has given each of us something. Each of us something special. It may not even require you to be in front, but it's something special. I think about my sister, born in the same house, same parents, 2.5 years apart. Even some people say we look alike. I'm the person that has always been out front. I like being out front. I like being a leader. My sister is more in the back, but guess what? She holds that back down like no other. When Y1 Entertainment takes off, she's gonna be my first employee if she wants to work for me. She holds it down. She has a gift with that I don't have. So each of us have a gift, and again, a lot of people want to be out front, and you may not be the one that may need to be out in the front. But what you have is important. Marceline stated, I always think of Chick-fil-A when I think of excellent customer service. Customer service is vital to survive in any business, and that is so true. That is so true. I give them my money often, and mainly because of the lemonade and the customer service. All right. So, like I stated, never get in the box. Never box your dreams. If your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough. So dream bigger. Tap into, ask God, God, what do you want me to do? What are you saying to me? Just last night, I gave one of my friends kudos, and I'm not going to call his name because I didn't check with him to see. But he has an idea that he's about to release that he came up with during this quarantine season that is like none other. I'm like, you're next level. You are a true entrepreneur because you're doing something that nobody else is doing. And of course, he took several ideas and merged it into one. And it's for a specific audience. That put the fire to me to kind of tap into some of the things that I put into my phone to do. If God gives you a vision, I believe in timing, and oftentimes stuff starts festering with me for a while before it comes to fruition. But when it does come together and I'm obedient in God's timing, it does work. So be mindful that timing is also everything. Our third dish is being extra. Now, we hear that a lot, and the Urban Dictionary states that doing the absolute most for no reason. Being extra, doing the absolute most for no reason. Or it's dramatic behavior. Now, sometimes we want extra. I think about when I go to, I'm talking about food a lot. I guess I'm hungry. When I go to Davis Burger, and you go there, you pay for your food, and they come around, hot fries, And sometimes if I'm not really hungry, I'm just like, no, I'm good. But they're going to like give them to you anyway. And then by the time they bring me my fries, I'm full from fries. I don't even want my burger. But, that is extra. Or actually what I've ordered now is actually extra. So if I'm hungry, I want that extra. If I'm not, I don't necessarily want the extra. But most of the times, nobody complains about extra money. And of course, that's why a lot of people I know are hustling so they can get the extra money. But we're not talking about extra money. We're talking about a person that just kind of adds the extra dramatics for no reason. Like everything has to be a drawn out production. And it has its place sometimes. It may be my 40th birthday and I don't want nothing basic. I want something extra. Or they cut themselves and it's just, oh my God, I cut myself and I'm bleeding and it was ever so. Come on. But in a positive manner, People pay more for extra. When you go to Wendy's and ask you if you want to upsize, that's giving you a bigger drink, so that's extra. That's giving you bigger, more fries. That's extra. You pay more for it, and you're happy with it. So as it relates to a business or it relates to your life or a service that you're offering, give your people a little something extra. There's a lady that I used to order personalized cakes from, and she would just write a little card in there and say thank you. That was a little bit of extra that made me want to keep giving her business and referring her and actually giving tips. So in your life, apply extra. In your work, you do apply extra. Because again, when you get to just doing what everybody else is doing, you get to the point where you're average. So when it comes around and there's some extra little money that can be made, your supervisor may say, you know what, I've noticed that you stay here till 5 o'clock every day, or you stay here till 6 o'clock every day. I've noticed that when I email you at 8 o'clock at night, you respond right back. You're at home, you're working. And of course you do need to, I'm not saying this to be a workaholic, but people do notice the extraness. And you want to notice it in a good way. Because there is a bad extra, in my opinion. And now people are like, I don't even want to fool with her because you're going to ask her one question. And then next thing you know, it's a whole bunch of drama. And they've taken over or they made it about them. No, that's the bad extra. But there is a good extra. And oftentimes that good extra will get you extra money, get you extra privileges. I challenge my students in the class. If I say, give me 10 slides, how about give me 12? Because guess what? If 8 and 9 was not quite on point, I'm going to look at 11 and 12. So you know what? They made up for it. So if you get off at 5 o'clock and you stay to 5:05, when you're 5 minutes late in the next morning, your boss may overlook that. So again, extra is not always bad from the standpoint that we're talking about it. And oftentimes we look at people, well, I don't know why to do this, or why do people do this? Why do people do that? My mom simply told me as a kid, son, don't spend a lot of energy trying to figure out people. She just tell me that's just what they do. That's just what they do. And I let people do them. If it's a person I know that is extra, and I don't feel like dealing with extra today because I'm already full, but I won't go that extra route. I won't. And the day that I may feel like it, I may fool with them. And oftentimes those extra people, they're really good at what they do. And sometimes you just have to call them out on it. All right. Roxanne stated, I want extra folks at my celebrations, graduation, and wedding. You do? That's extra money. All right, let's see here. Marceline stated, if you can see yourself doing it, you will do it. You will put in the work. But if you can't see yourself doing it, you will be dreaming the rest of your life. Faith without works is dead. There comes a time that you must stop dreaming and dream and work the dream. Make it tangible. It doesn't happen without commitment. And that is so true. A dream is just that. It requires work. I always say faith without works is dead. So a dream is not enough to just have it. It's actually what are you going to do to actually work that dream. You got to work. Stop twerking and work. And if your work is twerking, then twerk. And that's just that. How are you doing, Devin? Thank you so much for joining in. Miss Terry, thank you so much for joining in. So, with that being said, actually, those are all the notes that I have. I'll do a quick recap. And again, if you guys have something else that you want to add, please do so. Please like, tag, and share this video. I am so thankful that I get a chance to sit here, and there are hundreds of people that get a chance to kind of tap in and hear the things that we're talking about. And I want to get that number up to actually thousands. So help me reach that goal by like, tagging, and sharing. Marceline stated a plan is a must. If you write it down, it will happen. You read it, see it, and you will do it. And I do know I have some friends that actually on their mirror, they took a expo marker and wrote their vision and their dreams. So every morning that they were brushing their teeth, they would see it. Because I believe if you believe it and you can see it, then you can achieve it. So that is definitely true. That's right, Roxanne. I love my mom too. How you doing, Miss Brenda Keith? Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to do our appetizer again. It states here that you accepted less because you thought a little was better than nothing. Know your worth. Stop accepting little. It's all or none. That's the way I see it. The book of Kabab today was, don't let people put a price on you, your gift, or your talent. They will tell you that you are too high. Set your price and charge accordingly. Those that can afford it, or those can afford you, will oblige. No discounts. In this world, value is determined by your pricing. So know your worth, know your price. Don't let anybody discount you. It is your worth and your value is determined by you. Don't look at other people. It's self-worth, it's self-value. And then you already know. Stop acting local because people will treat you local. Do your business. Don't let your family, friends, and your church discount your gifts and your talents. A lot of them are in there getting paid. Why not you? You're asking me to do the same thing. Hey, that's just me. If you need an appraisal, look in the mirror. Say, we see each other, like Nene said. Look in the mirror and you appraise yourself and tell yourself how much value, how much worth you have. And if you're doing a business deal or if you're just dealing with people, act accordingly to the worth that you see. And actually, sometimes people don't see that worth. So people speak life into people. Let them know that they are valuable. Let them know your worth. Our next thing is thinking outside of the box. Don't get in the box. If you don't get in the box, you have to think outside of it. And if somebody comes with a box, tell them to keep it sealed because you can't do nothing but walk around it. Simple as that. And the next thing, the last point that we talked about, do something that never has been done before. Stop being average. It's just as close to the bottom as it is to the top. Being extra. It's good and it's bad. But I said be extra in a good way. Do more than what is required. Stop being basic. Stop being average. And work your dreams. Stop putting so much energy in trying to figure somebody else out. Because we are intricate individuals. We have many layers. We have multifaceted. You spend that energy figuring yourself out. I'm learning more and more about myself every day. And like my mom would tell me, stop trying to figure people out. Just accept it as that's just what they do, and you live your life. Alrighty. You writing your mirrors too as well? And that's right, Marceline, vote, 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 vote. Please vote. I did, like she said, I went to vote.org and I checked my registration, and I got scared at first because what did I do wrong? I think I put a comma and then my junior. And that's what started off. So you have a suffix, you may try it with or without. That's what I kind of did wrong, but I did check my registration. Also, I'm working on getting a guest. Actually, the one that you recommended. She's very busy, so I'm working on trying to get her on here to talk about that. Roxanne said she meant extra and I'm super excited. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'll be there with bells on. And if you don't invite me to the wedding, invite me to the reception because I love wedding cake. All right. If there's nothing else that you guys have to bring to the table, I'm full. I've gotten this out. My teeth are hurting. I'll give you a few minutes, but I just, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, tag, and share this video. My goal now is to move out of the hundreds and move into the thousands. It can be done because if this was something negative, or if this was a tape that was leaked of me doing something ungodly, it will be liked, tagged, and shared. But if people don't really like those, they just share it and they screen record it and send it to people. So do the same thing for this. This is something positive because God's about to do a new thing, and I thank you so much for being involved in it. Marceline stated, being mediocre is miserable. God called us to be supernatural. We are gems. We are extra, and it's miserable trying to be mediocre. And you are so right. I can't do basic. I'm just not a basic type guy. I'm going to give it a little extra. I want to give you what's outside of the box. And I want you to think of when you think of something that Warren L. Booker Jr. is going to do. When you think of something that Wild Warren Entertainment is going to produce, you already know it's going to be quality, and it's going to be valuable, and you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be nice. Just like I posted a video. Go back and watch it. I did a welcome at school, and I mean, it's 2 years old, but I was like, oh, wow, I did that. So, yeah, just don't be basic. Don't be extra. Don't be mediocre. Yeah. And my grandmother said, we're gonna cultivate our uniqueness. That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. With that being said, people, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Potluck. Be sure to vote. Go check your registration. Go to vote.org. That's VOTE.org. Check your registration so there won't be any surprises. Check your voting poll or your voting location, because it's my understanding some of those have been changed. Complete your census. Do your tax returns. Don't be like me. And just officially get them completed on Monday. And it wasn't all my fault. You know what I'm talking about. You got to play a part in that too. All right, so I'm starting to talk crazy. So I'm going to get off here, but thank you so much. Thank you, Marshalene. Thank you so much. And I am doing my best to grow. One of my friends, I was just talking to him before we got on. He was like, he see the growth of this, like the set and the different software and how it has grown and changed from the very beginning. And that's what life is about, growth. So remember, people, I'm going to leave you with the appetizer. I'm going to serve it as the dessert. You accepted less because you thought a little was better than nothing. Nothing. Know your worth, people. Know your value. Live your life that way and stop acting like your life is over. We want to live past COVID. Stop living risky. Stop putting other people at risk. You will have another birthday. There will be other parties. There will be other concerts. Let's get this under wraps so we can live. Act like you know the value of your life and stay your butts at home. With that being said, I am Warren L. Booker Jr., host of the soon-to-be internationally known webcast, The Potluck. Have a great night.